I really want to go on a hike, but I can't. So I'm going to do the next best thing, and that is a makeup look. Inspired by hiking, specifically a makeup look to look as if you just got home from a 3-day hike, and just to, recreate that fresh feeling. Okay, first things first, with this look, you want to start off wearing something like this, which is a merino wool t-shirt, which in layman's terms means it's extremely expensive and you bought it because your outdoorsy friend said it was a good idea, but you don't really know if it is or isn't because you haven't actually used it for anything useful. When we're going hiking, need to make sure that we're prepared. We know what's happening. We know what we want to do. And we've got like the basics down already. Merino wool, base already done. And it's really quick. We can just dive straight into the makeup look from here. We start on our hike. It's glorious. The birds are singing. You can hear the breeze moving through the trees, leaves crunching. You feel the sun beating down on your skin, that lovely prickly warmth that says that you're outside. So first thing we're gonna do is gonna take some blush. Different from our usual looks, you wanna make sure you get quite a lot of blush in your brush. No tapping off, no nothing. And you wanna start by putting it on the raised areas of your face. So specifically the nose and raised cheekbones. This is gonna give the impression that you're just back from a 3-day hike. The sun has been beating down, it's been glorious, and you didn't really think to pack any sunscreen before you left. So you wanna focus the color on the raised parts, which is cheekbones, nose, and then just like a little bit on the forehead. Then you wanna take a separate brush, just like buff this out a little bit, and you just wanna kind of smooth it into the rest of your skin. So keeping in mind, since this is only a 3-day hike, you've only had a few days to develop this color. You're not gonna get any of the white lines or the peeling quite yet. And also not to put this into your eye area because, your eyes are shaded. So naturally you wouldn't be getting this rosy hue. Yeah, if you have a really pale skin like me, this really helps to add to the realism of it. So I'm gonna go into Cherry Aid. Which is just a bright red, and want to kind of just lightly apply to the nose and then the very tops of the cheeks, just a little bit, drawing a little bit of attention to like the way your face moves, like the natural swoops, because we're hiking. We don't want to do anything that's like really artificial. We want to just keep it all natural. We want to keep it, I am a forest nymph kind of thing. Once again, you want to buff that out just like a little bit, just so it's not overwhelming. So you still have a hint of like the extra red going on, but it doesn't look, doesn't look ridiculous. It looks natural. This is pretty accurate to how most of us are gonna look after 3 days hiking outside in the glorious sunshine, after months and months indoors, and none of that stuff. So your first day when you're hiking, okay, you've packed great food, you've got all your granolas, you got a few chocolate bars, you got a few things that you thought, oh, of course, this is gonna be perfect for hiking, but it didn't really look it up. I mean, who would know the best stuff for hiking? Obviously anything you put in your fridge and the stuff you would usually eat. First day, eat everything perfect and fine and amazing. Second day, however, you're feeling like a little bit more tired. You're starting to get this rosiness up. By the time you've hit your 3rd day and you're coming home, which is where this look comes in, you're gonna have to have eaten some very questionable things that you packed, mainly because you never looked up what is good to put in a backpack and leave in the blistering heat for, 3 days endlessly. Bit of highlighter, gonna use this one. Nice and white and floofy. We're just gonna put a bit of a sheen at the top here on either side. You don't want it to overpower the red. You just want to have a bit of a glisten. And then you want it up here as well. Like this is from the kind of cold sweats that you're gonna get because you've eaten something that's bad, but there's nothing you can do about it because you're on the top of a mountain somewhere and you're trying to get home. Make sure to really highlight the upper lip with this look, because you want it to look as if you're just really, just got those shakes. Got the I've accidentally poisoned myself shakes. Now, you don't need to do the entire forehead. Personally, since I've been hiking a few times, I just know that this is my response from eating yogurt that's been in a bag for 3 days in the blistering heat. If you know your response is a little bit different, feel free to just go with that. This is whatever works best for you, whatever works best for your skin type, your body type. Don't be afraid to experiment. This is all about fun. Because that's what hiking really is when you get down to it, it's enjoying nature in a responsible way. And if you're doing a 3-day hike, the best way to do it is to pitch a tent every night and just be out in the open, be out in the wilderness and be one with nature. Of course, you have to actually pitch the tent. You have to make sure the tent stays up. There's all this stuff that goes into it that people tend not to realize is really difficult. But once you get all of that sorted, all of that up, you've got your tent going, you lie down on the super hard, cold ground that little sheet thingy that you brought doesn't help with at all. What we're doing now is the part of the look that says, I camped out 2 nights and good God, I hate nature. You want to go into a more nude, natural palette for this part of the look. Any palette you have is great. Just something with some browns, some deeper hues, and let's get started. I'm gonna start off with this shade. It's just a rich brown shade. So what we want to do is we want to just pack on a bit of that underneath and over the eye. And don't worry, I know this is a very intense look right now. We're gonna buff it out. It's not gonna be that strong when we're finished. This is more of a 5-day look. So we're just gonna have to tone it back a little bit until we get to the tree day. So after getting that up, you want to take a brush that you can just buff it out. An important thing to remember with this look is you want to pull it down kind of to the bottom of your eye socket. Not just the crease or anything, the actual socket here. It's just it will dip down before your cheekbones come up, and your cheekbones should be highlighted by the red. I'm gonna make sure the color goes all around on either side. You want your sides to be kind of even. They don't need to be perfect. Sisters, not twins. Okay, now you see that it's been buffed out quite a bit, and we're actually losing a level of the intensity there, which is, honestly, it's fine for the moment. We're not going too extreme. From here, we can kind of highlight the more natural tones. So I'm gonna take a pretty slim brush, this one, which I picked up in Lidl the other day. I'm gonna use this brush and go into a rich red, an almost auburny color. So once we get a good amount of that on the brush, you just wanna kind of swoop it just underneath the eye. What this is doing right now is giving the impression that I've been rubbing my eyes constantly due to the tiredness. You wanna kind of use it like a liner, but not too much. You wanna focus more on the outside bits, because that's where you would have rubbed more. If you suffer from hay fever, you can just go all in with this part of the look. It's whatever works best for you naturally. So if you feel like you'd be rubbing your eyes a lot in the course of a 3-day hiking trip in nature, go for it. Just go all in, all out. You do you, whatever works best for you. Makeup and hiking, they're really both all about individuality. They're about how you see the world and how you process what's going on. So really just feel totally free to change this a little bit. I feel like the red isn't quite red enough. I'm just gonna buff in a little bit more. I don't have really bad hay fever, but I have enough hay fever that I know I need a bit of a boost here. This is turning out absolutely amazing. I'm so happy. It's really looking natural. This is how this is how people look after 3-day hikes. It's amazing. I didn't think I'd be able to recreate it so well. If you feel comfortable just leaving it here, that's absolutely fine. I'm just gonna take it a little step further. This is an add-on from the last day of the hike. You're walking through the last fields and weary, exhausted, already sweating from the bad food and sunburn, and you just fall the fuck over. It happens. Look, it happens to the best of us. It doesn't matter if you're wearing like 20 € hiking shoes, or you're wearing your usual work shoes or your gym shoes. People fall, it's fine. And especially if you're walking in like really boggy conditions, your foot can get caught, you might never find your shoe again. Also, okay, this happens, we understand. People totally understand hikers appearing in like walking pubs being like, whoops, I only have one shoe left. Trust me, it's standard. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take a brown. Any form of brown as usual will work, no worries about it. And you just kind of gonna put a little bit here. Now feel free to play with the placement of this. I find the easiest way to do is to imagine you just like brushed your face. Like, I fell over, and then brush. And then I'm gonna have a little bit here, which is from, you know, the moment when you say, oh, I'm gonna rub my eye, and then you realize your hand's manky dirty. I'm gonna put a bit of brown here. And then just at the bridge of the nose, which you always forget that you've touched, I'm gonna put a little bit of brown. Now you can see that these are all like trending to the right side of my face, and that's because I'm very strongly right-handed. If you're left-handed, feel free to put them on the other side of your face. If you're ambidextrous, you know, just go all out, do whatever you feel is most natural for you. I'm gonna take a eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna start just adding a bit more texture, because what we're really going for here is the look of, oh good God, I hope that was just mud on my hand. So since this is a more like advanced technique, we're gonna do like a little bit of layering and kind of mixed media almost. So what I'm gonna take is my mascara, and I'm gonna just carefully swoosh it. As you can see here, it's just adding a little bit more dimension to the look, really. So we've just got a few small things left to do. First things up, we are just gonna use a little bit of powder. This is gonna have the dual purpose. You want it to set the look, but you also want to just kind of like bring home that glassy sheen of food poisoning and lack of sleep. So you want to just put it on. You kind of want to avoid the red as much as you can. The more layers and textures you can put on the brown though, go for it. After we have all this done, since we're sticking with the very like natural looks, I'm just gonna use a nude lipstick. It's like, you know, slightly reddish, not too intense. You don't want to take away from anything else that's going on. And since this is a very sophisticated, complex look, if you have a very strong color on your lips, it can kind of almost cause confusion, and you don't want that to happen. So at this point, personally, I like to just add like a little bit of the highlight back in. I feel like it can very easily come off in the preparation. So just before you go in and like walk into your house and everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, were you on a hike? You wanna just add a little bit of the red back in. It gives you that moment fresh glow. You know, it's, the sun has just finished kissing me. It's not just general sun kissed. The important part of this look is that you wanna go for the very messy, what have I done with my life kind of hairstyle. Try to go against your natural parting, which will give you a great kind of like poof of. I'm gonna use something a little solid to do this. And there we go. I'm shocked at like how close this is to real life. I can't get over it. Like, this is how people look after 3 days hiking. And I'm surprised I could recreate it so like easily, I guess. I feel like my skills really are coming along. This is great. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting out on a hike when this is all over. I'm sure you are too. If you have a favorite hike, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for suggestions. Let me know if you like hiking, how accurate you feel this look is to a 3-day hike results. Personally, I think it's pretty close, but you know, we're all a little bit different. Maybe this is more your 2-day or your 5-day look. So yeah, thanks so much for watching.